If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check the referral links down in the description. They'll take you to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods already, and with the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well.
Hey guys, how's it going? Ches back again and welcome to episode number 30 of the Inter Milan Career Mode. Today we'll be having a look at some transfer targets for season number 2 here at the Serie A club. Obviously we ended the last season last week and I'll quickly show you some of the emails that I've brought forward from that previous season. Obviously we were able to sign Fabian Schär on a pre-contract in the January transfer window, so he's already joined the squad, so brilliant, and a brilliant signing, and pleased to have him with the squad. As you can see, the board want us to be in the want us to win the Europa League again this year. This was confusing to me because, as you can see, in the email they said for last year's league position, before the season started, the club set you the target to qualify for the Champions Cup, which is the Champions League. And it says, congratulations on fulfilling what was expected of you. It's been a good season for this football club. This makes us very confident that you're the man to keep leading the club forward. But we didn't qualify for the Champions League. Because obviously we weren't sure whether by winning the Europa League we'd get a place in the Champions League group stage, as is now the rule in real life. We weren't sure whether it would transpond into FIFA, and judging by this email at the end of the first season, I was delighted. I thought, brilliant, we are going to get into the Champions League for this year. So I headed into the second year, and it turned out that they wanted us to win the Europa League, and we'd actually been entered into the Europa League, so we're not in the Champions League, even though before I headed into season 2, I thought I was going to be in the Champions League, but obviously we won the Europa League last year, and they are delighted with the fact that we did that. They were slightly disappointed with us in the Capital One Cup, in the Coppa Italia, and it's understandable. We lost to Sassuolo in the first round, and first round we were involved in at least, and I was disappointed with that. They want us to win the Cup this year as well. They want us to win the league title this year. Now, they said only Champions League qualification last year, so that's going to be difficult. They want us to win the Europa League as well. So they want three cups from us this year. They want a treble. We have got a rather sizable transfer budget of £25 million plus a wage budget of 120k. I'm also going to be trying to raise that as well by the sale of some players. I used the money we had left over at the end of last season to bring in this youth scout. We had 19 million left in the bank. So I went and spent about 4 of it, I think it was, on this guy, Cenk Ahmet Pektemek, who shares the same surname as one of the strikers at more often than not ends up going to QPR and Career Mode because of the scripted transfers. But I am looking to sell a few players. I'm actually negotiating contracts with a few players right now, but actually on the transfer list are Botta, Alvarez, Charlotto, Jonathan, Nagatamo, Carrizo and Campagnaro. I am going to put Vidic on the transfer list as well once he's signed the contract extension, hopefully. So he'll go on the transfer list, and Pereira is actually still out on loan. It's his second season. He's out on loan for a second season, and Dodo is on loan at Inter for a second season from Roma. So we've also got some players here listed for loan. They're just the youngsters that were here last year. We're keeping Taidea in the squad. That's the plan at least for the time being. And Bardi's still here, although I'm still not sure what to do with the goalkeeper situation. But we could raise a really large amount of money here if we are able to sell everybody, at least even just for face value. We'd have almost, well, what's that? 3.5, 5. That's 8.5. That takes us over 32 million. We could probably get close to 40 million with fiddling the budget as well because of the size of the wages. We could probably get close to 40 million to spend in this window. So we'll have to wait and see what's actually going to happen. At present, I'm kind of holding off with the obvious transfer targets, the big names, but we are looking to sign a centre-back. Even though we've got Fabian Schär in, we are going to be losing Vidic and, well, I'm going to try and lose and sell Vidic and Hugo Campagnaro, and I'm still undecided about Ranocchia. If I don't sell Ranocchia, I'll only sign one centre-back. If I do sell Ranocchia, I'll probably sign 2 or look to sign 2. So the minute I've got Masaccio, Umtiti and Hector Moreno as my transfer targets, but obviously everything on this list is open to change. We are looking for a wide player as well because Nagatamo and Jonathan are both hopefully leaving us. Stefan Radu is a player that can play out wide in that left mid spot because, of course, we're playing a 3-5-2, so I need them like Cavander on the right-hand side to be able to be effective going forward and also very effective defensively as well. And Shaqiri doesn't offer that right now in that left mid spot, so might be moving Shaqiri inside and actually having someone like Stefan Radu or Kwadwo Asamoah, who still needs the scout report to come back on him, to play in that left mid spot. Potentially looking for a midfielder, a central midfielder, that is Marco Verratti, Eva Banega, and actually Roberto Pereira is another player I'm looking at. Obviously, Eva Banega and Marco Verratti were on our transfer targets list last window in January, but Roberto Pereira came to my attention, and he looks pretty decent. He could perhaps even play out wide. I'm not sure what other positions he can play, just in the middle according to his stats here, but I could probably get away with playing him out wide, although obviously Jordan Shaqiri can play out there, and I am looking for an attacking winger. Obviously, Felipe Anderson we looked at in the last window, as we did Yannick Ferreira Carrasco, and we would have signed Carrasco if we hadn't had to have our hand forced by the injury to Dybala and sign Marco Sau instead. So Carrasco's still definitely on the list, going to get the scout report back on him, and we have been interested recently in Gökhan Toure. Obviously, he was only a new signing at Besiktas at the start of the first season, but now he's been there for a season. He's potentially up for grabs. So that's a shorter transfer list, or shorter shortlist, than initially I thought I was going to have. But I'm not sure how much money I'm going to spend, because like I say, it depends how many people we can get out the door. So we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, when Vidic accepts his contract, I'll put him on the transfer list. Fabian Schär, by the way, is actually rated at 78 now, up from 75 where he starts at. So his stats do look very impressive indeed, as you can see. Heading accuracy of 85, shot power of 81, penalties of 84, where is tackling? Stand tackle of 78, slide of 75, which aren't overly impressive, but obviously he can actually play in CDM as well, despite the fact that it only says centre-back there. He can play as a central midfielder, because his stats do lend themselves to that position as well, with decent passing stats. As you can see, long passing of 82, short passing of 75, so can definitely play in CDM as well. So we've got a lot of players in each position, but like I say, it's a case of we have the depth. It's just the quality and depth that we lacked in the first year, and I'm hopefully going to be able to improve that in this particular window. Although, again, not sure how much I'm going to spend, or how much I'm going to have to spend. So unsure as to which sort of player to go after. Do I go after 3 or 4 different players that are kind of better than we've got already but not world class, or do I wait, hold off and see if we can sell on as many players as possible and then go for 2 or 3 really truly world class players like Marco Verratti and players of that ilk? We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, I'll take your suggestions into account over the next few episodes as well. We do have a couple of friendlies, one against, I'm not actually too sure who that is, DFCO. I don't know who that is. Oh, it's Dijon. I see the DIJ on the left-hand side. I presume that's Dijon then, from France. And we also have a friendly against Chelsea of all teams. But then we only have 2 friendlies, because the third game in our pre-season is the Copa Euro, or the European Super Cup, the Copa Europe as it says in game, against Real Madrid. We won the Europa League, they won the Champions League. Unfortunately, it's only 2 days before the first game of the Serie A season, which is rather stereotypically FIFA-esque, but unfortunately there's no way to postpone either game and have them moved. So unfortunately we're going to have to just take that on the chin and deal with it. But hopefully, if we can get the quality and depth in this window, it shouldn't be so much of a problem. But that is going to bring today's shorter episode to a close. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Of course, that would very much be appreciated and would help the channel out as well. Obviously, let me know in the comment section as many suggestions for transfers as you so wish. Looking for centre-backs, potentially centre-mids, wide players, either an attacking wide player or perhaps a defensive wide player like Kwadwo Asamoah or Stefan Radu. And I think for strikers right now I'm okay, although I might be tempted to sell Marco Sau on again and bring in someone else. I'm not sure yet. I'm really undecided, and we'll have to wait and see what the reaction is to the striker situation. Because obviously Mauro Icardi, Rodrigo Palacio, Paulo Dybala and Marco Sau are all fantastic strikers and have done a fantastic job so far in this series. So I'm kind of a little bit undecided what to do. A little bit kind of, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. I'm a little bit apprehensive to let them go too early, in case, obviously they could do a continued good job for us this season as well. But we'll have to wait and see. But that's going to bring today's episode to a close. Thank you very much for watching. Check all the links in the description to my Twitch, to my Twitter, to my Facebook, to Instagram and Jiu-Jitsu as well. But for now, I will see you next time.